A very good evening and welcome to Africa and Beyond. And we continue to take a look on what's happening in Mozambique. So SADC dictators, they are actually conducting each other as we speak this evening privately to try and discuss what must happen in Mozambique. The biggest fear is that if a revolution is concluded in Mozambique, that revolution is likely going to spread across the SADC region with the DRC, with Malawi, with Zimbabwe, with South Africa. All these countries are likely going to be involved in a sort of a revolution following whatever which is happening right there in Mozambique. So what is happening is that we have seen the dictator's spokesperson, Jonathan Moyo. He has started issuing statements on their behalf, and he's trying by all means possible to run a propaganda, statements to try and make people, move away from whatever which is happening right there in Mozambique. He doesn't want people to believe in whatever is happening in Mozambique, and he's issuing some statements to try and discredit the processes right there. So Jonathan said something. He says, in the wake of inciting a murderous orgy of electoral violence in Mozambique, after the country's constitutional council confirmed the final results of the 9 October 2024 elections on 23 December, Venancio Mondlane returned today, championed by his Bentras Foundation handlers and their regime change associates. Having claimed more than 20% of the vote, more people than the crowd that showed up expected to welcome him. But even if the entire 20% that voted for him had turned out, their number is electoral insignificant and nowhere near the required threshold to govern Mozambique. So what we need to note is that whatever propaganda which is now being spread by Jonathan Moyo, they are trying by all means possible to create a narrative that other forces are behind what is happening in Mozambique. They are now on the path to discredit others. That is the biggest problem. When you see SADC leaders investing in people like Jonathan Moyo to be the propaganda mouthpiece, it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem because that narrative will fall away. The people who are protesting are not being sent by anybody. These are people who believe in their rights. These are people who believe that they have the right to be heard. They have the right to have democracy in their own country. So Jonathan Moyo is a non-entity, a charlatan who is being sent by the dictators within the SADC region to try and discredit the democratic processes right here. We have seen him so many times. He was attacking whoever he believes will be championing the democracy. So if you look at the numbers of the people who were in the streets today, there were so many that the dictators in Mozambique today, they're not going to sleep. Yes, the people who were in the streets today, Mozambique, they will be scheming and planning on how to stop him. And they will be calling over to their friends who are probably sending representatives to that country to try and sit down and work together on how they are going to outmaneuver Mondlane. So tonight, you have to expect to see experts from the countries of dictators to get into Mozambique secretly. We are talking about experts in killing. We are talking about experts in assassination. These are the people who are going to be there to sit down, choreograph everything, plan everything on how best they will stop this. Because if the revolution in Mozambique, if it goes through, they are in trouble. They're in trouble. They know about it. So if you look at what was happening in Kenya, all the dictators in the SADC region were making noise discrediting whatever which was happening in Kenya. because they didn't want it to be a good example. So now they've been telling people, look at what happened in Kenya. People died and died for nothing. After dying, nothing happened. That is what the narrative which they were spreading. So now if it happens in Mozambique and everyone sees, okay, it's not etika, it means they will have more trouble and more problems, because now that ZANU-PF is divided, now that the military is divided, who is going to be shooting people in the streets like what you did in 2018 and 2019? Because the same people who were shooting people in the streets, they've changed their minds. The majority of them would not agree with you. So expect SADC dictators to do everything in their power or within their power to make sure that they stop Venancio Mondlane and his supporters in Mozambique. Because on the 15th, they are looking forward to have Chapo inaugurated as president. The major question is, will they be in Mozambique during that inauguration? Are they going to be able to go there? That is the biggest question. Saka uchaona kuti kana kuchitumirwa vanhu kuchatumirwa maminister, mavice president, ivo vakuru vachatya kuenda, because munogona kuenda munovharirwa muriko, chobva chachaya, chobva chakala muriko. Because the people of Mozambique are determined. Vanogona ngozvivharisa kuti mapinda mustadium obva vataura vobva vazvivharisa mustadium imomo. What are you going to do? Which means they are likely going to do close the doors inauguration, because mukaenda kumaputo kwacho hakuna ari kuvada. So who is going to attend that inauguration? So they are likely going to do it in closed doors. It's going to be a private event. So it's going to be very difficult for leaders to be there, because vanogona ngovhara maroads nema airports just to make sure kuti hakuna nopinda hakuna nobuda, and they won't be able to open up those places. So it's very, very interesting. We will continue to watch and see how everything is going to unfold. There is no leadership within SADC. SADC has failed to provide leadership. The previous leadership of SADC, although they failed on Zimbabwe, vakamboedza vakatraya, vakadedza ma-extraordinary meetings, vakaedzawo zvikaramba. But this leadership, they are quiet, they are silent, they are nowhere to be found. They are busy scheming in the dark. But victory at the end, the SADC region shall be liberated. And it shall be liberated whether they like it or not. The SADC region shall be liberated. So we'll continue to watch and see, and we hope and believe that the people of Mozambique will continue to push and push for good.